I'm Sam Stamp, CEO of Legal Engine.
I'm Simon Marshall. I am the founder of TBD Marketing.
Thought we'd do super quick 3 things people should know about legal AI.
Yeah.
Here at Bristol+BathLegalTech as the reason for having this impromptu podcast, so it feels like the right time. I think one that we've both spoken about, something you should know now, the Claude for Legal that just came out. Like officially, I mean it's been around for a bit, but that officially came out yesterday, as we're talking here on the Wednesday, is a very big deal. And people should get as accustomed to it and acquainted with it as possible. Reason I'm saying that, it means that at a price point that is accessible to every firm, you can potentially have the capabilities of Harvey and Lagora. And I don't think that's overstating it.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think there's this notional idea of a moat.
Yeah.
It's been around for a while, and the big sign for me that something was coming was when Freshfield signed up last week. And the fact they didn't opt for the 2 actor-led kind of brands, as it were. I think Freshfield is a very considered firm, premium firm, and others have got their favourites and they went earlier. Nothing wrong with that, but it does feel like Freshfields is the second mouse. They got the cheese here, like they've really thought long and hard about who to go for.
Yeah.
I use Claude every day.
Yes,
Full disclosure, I have a holding pattern on the others, but I would default to it at the moment because I just feel like if I want to build something and want to code something on the back of an idea I've had, Claude is there for me.
100%. Yeah, we use a bit of Codex for some of the coding. That's the OpenAI's equivalent of Claude Code. But basically we're an Anthropic house now.
There we go.
So if you haven't spent any time exploring it, and maybe, which is fair because it's very new, start doing that now.
Yeah, I'd say for number 2 then, it's probably goes hand in hand with that, which the idea you've just suggested there is, I think it's time to get excited about it again, right? We got excited about it a while ago.
Yeah.
We played with it. It did some things. It didn't do them as well as we do them when we're doing it at length ourselves over the course of hours, maybe, right? But now's the time to get excited again because it is doing things at pace that would otherwise take us hours to do. And so much so, in such a time frame that in a year's time, my fear is if we don't have a behavioural change around it ourselves already in place, like how we're working with it, alongside it, then we don't understand what our new role is for 27, 28.
Yeah, a founder of a business I used to work for spoke years ago, as in like, I say years, it's all moved so fast, isn't it? Maybe 2023, about the idea of having an AI-first mindset. Like we all have a mobile-first mindset now, right? We all go to our phones to solve any problem. Yeah. And it's going to AI and that's not saying there's a lot of cognitive offload issues there, and you maybe some stuff you should do yourself, but that AI should be the first point of call to solve quite a lot of problems. Even, do I need to buy another platform? Maybe not. How do I solve it? And I think that's the mindset that people need to get into if they haven't already, because this tech is here. I'm also very aware of and we were talking about this as a founding team this morning, what a tiny bubble we're in.
Yeah.
Of really understanding what all this stuff can do and is.
Agreed.
And any conversation one have has to be predicated on understanding that, and that everyone else is on a adoption curve. But it does feel like adoption of AI is on a different curve to other things because it's going
my team spoke to me about exactly that this week. I think some of the creatives, right, they're nervous about what it means for them as a business. But I got ahead of it because I was inspired by some of the stuff I heard you speak about previously, and thought if we don't get ahead of this, then we're dead, right, Sam? Because our job is to be ahead of maybe or alongside those teams that are working internally. So we had to get ahead of others in our market. We're there, right, and I'm happy with where we are. But I don't think, we've got some complementary practices here as well. You build amazing things, or are building amazing big things for people, and we're looking at training and skills transition. I'm sure you are too, but we're going to do that for both lawyers and for legal marketers as well. I want people to understand there is a high value, joyous future available, but the time to be looking at that, if you want that to be something you do next year, is probably now.
And there's one that I maybe that hasn't changed, that I always is the true benefit of all this stuff is going to be doing things that you couldn't do before, not just doing things faster that you already did. And that's totally a benefit, but that's always it's an individual benefit. I can read more things than I used to be able to read before. I can write that email a bit faster. I can do more research. All that stuff is great. But the change for an organization is putting all of those things that individuals are doing together to enable you to do something that, charge it a different way, or create a product that you couldn't do before, or get people out and about in the office because you're able to, or out of the office because you're able to use agents to manage all of your inbound. things that weren't possible before, not just doing things faster, is the mindset that people need. And that should be exciting, but you can see why it's scary at the same time.
I've got a real example of that as well. When I worked at one of the law firms I worked at a while ago, a FTSE business came to them and said, we know that all of our unmitigated risk sits in contracts under this value, but the team doesn't have the budget or the bandwidth to get to these things. But we know that on the balance of risk, that this contract that's worth $1 million or under has probably got a risk that's 10 million plus, and is disproportionate. But to put even a paralegal on it wouldn't make any commercial sense because the sales guy's margins were so slim on this thing. And I think that's a perfect example of, hey, you know that thing that we never got to previously. And I think of that for someone like you, right? You've got a smaller, compact, perfectly formed business, and AI is going to allow you to have the presence of something that
much bigger.
You were the one who convinced me that a while ago, like team of one.
Yeah.
Kind of that idea of that. We talk about it now with barristers' chambers, and we're saying to them, hey, you've only got one marketing person. Let's make that person the most efficient marketing team they could ever be. I think there's a game changes available to us. Just went there a while ago.
Well, those are 3 good ones. Maybe
why add to those?
Why add to those?
If you're not looking at it already, please can I encourage you to do so. I think it will genuinely be something joyful for you as well. And if you don't follow Sam on LinkedIn, I would. He makes a lot of sense and he's inspired me for what we're doing at the moment.
And likewise, Simon, of course. Thank you very much.